Hello everybody. I wanted to go through a little tutorial with you all on transport helicopters. I know that they're not the most useful vehicles in the game, but as you'll see from some of the footage here, I'll show you how you can make the most use out of them, and in some cases actually do quite well on the battlefield. So I'm going to start off with just a little bit of passenger type play here, and it's a little boring right now, but for the most part, it is a very important aspect of flying in the transport chopper, and you need to have repair crews basically constantly going. I mean, you're a very large target, you're not very agile, you actually can't take very much damage, and you can't deal a lot of damage. So you kind of always got to have at least one person repairing. If you have two, that really helps a lot. You see here, I'm kind of, every time you get hit, boom, I'm right there repairing, and you'll see later on when I'm flying, I'll have a guy in there, the binge, and he's going to be doing kind of the same thing. So I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that I do a lot of switching when I'm in the passenger positions, and the reason for that is that you've got to be, every time you're getting hit, you got to be out there repairing, and as soon as you're done repairing, you got to be on them guns trying to take out anyone that's steering you, or sometimes actually choppers. You can do some pretty good damage against other choppers, but you do have to have a really steady shot. And later on, you'll notice I have a stinger out myself, and that's one of the really important things you want to have when you're in the passenger seat. You don't want to have MBT laws or RPGs. They can be effective, but for the most part, you want to have stingers and javelins. And if you're communicating with the pilot, that really helps because you can get them to basically hold steady while you take a shot. And if you got one or two guys doing that and helping out with your ground troops, that can be very, very effective, especially stingers, because a lot of the damage you're going to be taking is from other choppers and jets in the sky. If you have a stinger, a lot of times that'll either chase them away or at least buy you enough time. Every once in a while, you might even get a kill. Actually, you can take out a little bird if you disable it the first shot, and then follow up with the second one right away. And then you'll see here that we're fully repaired, so I'm not really focused on that right now. We have a couple of gunners that are blasting away too, so I'm just trying to harass some of the jets in the sky and kind of freak them out a little. And I kind of left this in here just because it's funny that I shoot through Buddy's head and manage to basically get a kill. I mean, this assist counts as kill. The same thing. Look at this. Like, what the heck is that? I don't know. Just fluke. Yeah, I know. It's all skill. Yeah. So in this section, I'm going to be running through some kind of flying type skills and tactics and such. And I brought my buddy Minha along, also known as the Minge. This guy's amazing. He was one of those dudes that you don't gotta even tell him what to do. He's there before you even say it. He's repairing you. He's shooting that gun. It's really awesome to have a guy like that in the chopper, which helps out. And you notice actually for a lot of this footage too, it's mostly just him and I in the chopper. We're kind of dropping people off and stuff. To be really effective, you almost do need to have a full crew. But in this footage and the next footage, we do fairly well with just kind of the two of us for the most part, communicating, grabbing flags and stuff. Yeah, so we'll jump into that right away here after I try to capture this flag and then die. So I want to start off by saying that I notice a lot of times what a guy does is he gets into a chopper and the first thing he just flies to enemy lines. And you got to be careful with that because, I mean, for the most part, a chopper isn't something that can take a lot of hits. So when you rush off the front lines, I mean, you're asking for trouble. You've got an AA gun that's already over there. It's probably going to be shooting you down real quick. We know how powerful they are. There's other jets. There's other choppers. You can't solo when you're in a chopper. That's really dangerous. You got to make sure that you're working the outside, right? You want to be, you've heard that on foot, right? You want to be working the outside of the map, the outside of the flag, whichever it is. Same thing in a chopper. You don't want to be running straight down the center. You're going to be a target. You're, especially in a transport chopper. I mean, you don't have heavy payloads. You don't have any ability to take damage, and you're not agile. So I mean, your only advantage here is that you're in the sky compared to things on the ground, so you can move fast. And you have a lot of open slots to kind of drop people off. So you want to be basically a point on the map where people can spawn on you, jump out, capture flags, and if it's not too hot, you can actually get down and capture some flags, which we do in this quite a bit, this footage here. So when you are in the transport chopper, you want to make sure that you are, again, working the outside. You want to make sure that if it gets too hot, you run away. You don't stick around, right? It's really easy to get hit. One stinger, you suddenly your vehicle mobility hit, you can't even move. You're going to get lined up for the next one. And what you'll see here, kind of get a quick view of a guy in the chopper. When you are flying with a passenger, there's got to be a lot of communication. Um, as a pilot, your job in the transport chopper is not to deal any damage at all. You don't have any guns. It's basically to line up shots for your gunners. It's to keep everyone in the transport chopper alive and really to keep the transport chopper operational, right? You want to make sure that it stays in the sky as often and as long as possible because you are basically a mobile spawn point, right? You're kind of like the Amtrak in that you're flying around the map and people are able to spawn on you. So if you're over top of a flag like this, people can spawn on you, they can jump out, they can start capturing that flag. And you'll see, look, a bunch of guys, 3 guys there, jumped out, spawned on me right immediately, jumped out and started capturing this flag. Boom, we got it. And first thing I do after that is I take off because it's starting to get a little hot. And as I move over to Bravo, there's stingers coming at me. The Minge is repairing. He can't even fight back right now. So we're kind of useless. So as we're getting hit, I'm just like, yo, I got to take off, get back to the outside where it's a little more safe. Sometimes flying low is good. That can take some basically locks off of you. Downside to being down low though is that if there's an MBT around or something, man, they can one-shot you so easy. I've had it happen so many times. It's so frustrating. You're trying to dodge all these stingers. You're trying to dodge jets hitting you. You get down low and a tank shoots you. It's like, oh my god. For the most part though, if you're out here, like see how I'm kind of trying to stay on the outside, trying to stay away from the action. This works as a good spawn point for people so they can spawn on me and shoot the guns or hop out to help capture flags, whatever it is. And once things calm down and my infrared flares, which I don't know if everyone knows this, but kind of in the center of the map, you see how there's all that kind of green HUD that's going on the top left of that HUD. It says IR flares ready. It's that as a countdown that tells you your countdown. And if it's ready, it means you're good to go with your flares. So I usually kind of go with the outside, wait for my flares to come back, and then head back in. A lot of times, though, honestly, if you're getting too much heat like I just did there, it doesn't even matter if I have my flares. I take off because holy smokes, you can go down real fast in this chopper. And I wanted to elaborate a little more on the communication side of things, and here's a good example where we're trying to capture this flag, but I realized it's a little hot, so I'm kind of working around trying to clear out some of the guys. And my passenger there, the Minge, he tells me, yo, there's a guy there. So, okay, so I level out because it's really hard to shoot those big guns on the side, and you got to have kind of a level spot. So he communicates to me, yo, there's guys on the side, so I level it out just for a second. He gets a shot. So he gets a shot, I kind of move out of there and look around a bit to see if there's any more. He tells me there's a couple more guys. We're trying to hit him. And sure enough, we end up getting some pretty good kills. And a lot of those kills are because of basically the teamwork that we're running here. And you'll notice I do get taken out, and that's because I get a little too aggressive. I mean, that AA gun was locking me. Should have been paying attention. But I didn't, and I got destroyed. But you'll see here that even though I got destroyed there, and for the most part, I had a fairly decent run. I mean, the Minge is up there in 3rd place, and all he did the whole round was just sit inside of that chopper while we captured flags, took out people, etc., etc. So yeah, if you guys like any other questions or whatever, leave them in the comments, and I'll try to address them in the next tutorial.